talk about Michael Penix Jr. Because if you are ready to write this kid off after a week 3 disaster against the Carolina Panthers, you might want to pump the brakes and slow it down, baby. Because just 1 week ago, actually 2 weeks ago now, Penix Jr. had one of the worst games of his career. 2 interceptions, including a pick six, a QBR 12.5, second worst of the week, and the Falcons got shut out 30-0 by the division rival and arguably the worst team in the NFC or in the NFL, the Carolina Panthers. This was their biggest loss in a decade, and it was so bad that the Falcons fired wide receiver coach Ike Illard on the spot and moved offensive coordinator Zach Robinson down to the sideline. This was a panic move that I've never seen one before. And with Kirk Cousins making $27.5 million just sitting there holding a clipboard, people were asking the question, is this kid really the future? Should we be in a backup quarterback competition? Should we be putting Kirk Cousins in there? Is Michael Penix Jr. really our guy? Whatever. But here's the thing. Raheem Morris never blinked. He saw something that day that after that blowout loss. When Penix walked into the meeting room, there was no moping. There was no excuses. There was no finger pointing. He stood up. He took ownership, talked to his unit, and got right back to work. That told Raheem Morris all he needed to know. And then on Sunday against the Washington Commanders, Penix backed it up. Career high, 313 yards, 20 for 26 passing, 2 touchdowns, finally connecting with Drake London and Kyle Pitts Sr. for scores. Third best QBR of the week of 90.5. That's just not a bounce back, guys. That is a statement bounce back. And what stood out the most? The fourth quarter. Falcons were up 31-24. Game on the line. Penix converts 3 straight third downs, scrambles for 5, a laser to Pitts for 22 yards, and then a 9-yard dart to Drake London. That drive ended in a field goal, going up 34-24 and basically sealing the win. That's a big-time quarterback play. That's poise. That's leadership. That is a franchise quarterback. And you can feel the energy from his teammates. Drake London called him the gamer. B. John Robertson said, this is the offense keeps clicking like that. They can be unstoppable. Robertson went for a career high himself for 181 yards from scrimmage and now leads the league in that category. For the first time all season, guys, the Falcons running game and passing game both clicked at the same time. And at the center of it was Michael Penix Jr. Now look, Raheem Morris was right. This kid has the tools. Quick release, accuracy, ability to process, the arm to push it down the field, and now he's showcasing resilience as well. A 30-point shutout 1 week, a career day the next. That is how you prove you belong in the NFL. Guys, Michael Penix Jr. is the Falcons franchise quarterback, period. It showed it on Sunday. The talent is there, the leadership is there, and now the confidence is there as well. He's not perfect, but he belongs, and that's all the Atlanta Falcons needs. But I got to ask you guys this question. Did Michael Penix Jr. silence all the doubters, or do we still need to see more from him before we buy into him as the face of the Atlanta Falcons for many, many years to come? Guys, subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/manhour. Now, this is a live interactive show, so comment down below and let's discuss your thoughts. Alpha Rob is like, whoa. I thought Lamar Jackson was king of the QBR. Lamar Jackson is very, very good at padding stats. Lamar Jackson is very, very good at being the guy, the man, the myth, the legend until adversity strikes and he gets injured. Michael Penix Jr. is now taking over that spot. Reese said the Niners can win. Can never have a healthy season. I should say. Reese, you are not wrong, man. You are not wrong at all. Matter of fact, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't we talk about the biggest what if in the NFL just a couple weeks ago in 49ers? 49ers, the biggest what if. Now the biggest what if is if Michael Penix Jr. can carry this momentum from last week into week 5, into week 6, into week 7, and week 8. Then we might have another eyes on another prize over there. Lamar Jackson, your old news. Josh Allen, your old news. Patrick Mahomes, your old news. Hello there, Michael Penix Jr. The best quarterback in the NFC South. Over Baker Mayfield. Over whoever the Saints quarterback is. Spencer Rattler. Bryce Young. Get out of here. This is my division. West Philly Black says Eagles are still undefeated and will repeat as Super Bowl champions. West Philly back. Down there at the very bottom, there is a segment called Factor Crap. That is the final segment of the day, and we are going to tell you how much you are wrong about the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to tell you that the Philadelphia Eagles will be a one and done. But, got to stick around. Tell you, maybe not. I don't know. Spoiler alert, right? Mellow Mike says Falcons yawn. Going to choke on Tampa Bay's creamsicle and miss the playoffs yet again. Let me ask you guys this question legitimately. Mellow Mike, Alpha Rob, Reese, West Philly Black, rest of the people that are in the chat. Do the Falcons have to make the playoffs this season for Raheem Morris to keep his job? Because honestly, back in, was it May? We kind of did the coaching hot seat, right? I said Mike McDaniels has to win. I said Harbaugh from the Baltimore Ravens has to win this season. Hell, who else did we put on there? Obviously, Brian Daboll was like one of them. Like as well. I think those are the four that we put on there. But insert Raheem Morris as well, because honestly, the Falcons have been kind of a joke of a franchise for the last couple seasons. They collude to get a 37-year-old Kirk Cousins down there, bench him after 13 games last season, bench him now. Kyle Pitts has kind of been called a bust. Trade the man, get him out of town, right? Drake London who, right? When we talk about top 15 receivers in the NFL, never mention Drake London's name. Bijan Robinson has been the only bright spot on the Atlanta Falcons team in general. So do the Falcons have to win this season? That's the question. But Alpha Rob says, whoa, slow down. The Falcons are a couple years away. But is the ownership in Atlanta patient enough to be a couple years away? Because if you're a couple years away, that puts Penix in his fourth year. He's a second-year player now, fourth year. I believe he was a first-round pick, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. So he will have 5 years on his rookie deal. So if they're a couple years away, say they're 3 years away from really being a great team. Now, all of a sudden, Drake London's on his second contract. Kyle Pitts is on his second contract. Bijan Robinson is already on his second deal. And you know those guys are going to want money. Those guys are going to get those dollar bills, y'all. And then we're in the San Francisco 49ers situation all over again. They got to win now. Electro Illustration says, now we come for the Eagles. We almost had you out. Meaning the Dallas Cowboys. I just slow down, baby. But hey, nobody else wants it. Wants what? The NFC South? Or just Raheem Morris? Alvaro says no. But win 8 or 9 games will be a good season for them, meaning the Atlanta Falcons. When we look at the Atlanta Falcons schedule moving forward, guys, they should 100% win more than 8 games. If they play and perform like they did against the Washington Commanders, they're sitting at 2-2 right now here on the season. They play the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football in a couple weeks. Right? They're on their bye week. They're going to play Monday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills, and then they play the 49ers. Toss-up game, Sunday Night Football, right? At Kettle Light Stadium or Levi Strauss Stadium. But then they play the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Panthers, the Saints, the Jets, and the Saints. So those are 6 easy wins they should win. So, yeah, 8 or 9 is probably right where they should be, honestly. And 9 wins might get you into the NFC playoffs. Let's just be honest about that. So, sheesh. Mellow Mike says, Arthur Blank hands me a blank check. I'll bring back the old dirty birds of old. Do it, baby. DMV or whatever it was, right? Because you had Mike Vick, Warwick Dunn, and who was the fullback? I can't remember who the fullback was, the other running back. But yeah, it was great. But you know what else is great?